Hi, I'm Sarah Coomer, the Gifted and Talented Coordinator for Bullitt County Public Schools. I apologize for not being able to be there today to present, but hopefully you will be able to find some of this information about acceleration helpful. You can feel free to email me at sarah.coomer@bullitt.kyschools.us if you have any further questions. Today I'm going to address some of the myths about acceleration, the different types of acceleration, recognizing the need for acceleration, basic policy development, and our county's acceleration policy procedures and the options that we have in practice. The National Association for Gifted Education composed a list of the most common myths that are often heard among educators. In our own county, we heard the same types of things being said. For example, gifted students don't need help, they will do fine on their own. Teachers challenge all students, so gifted students will be fine in the regular classroom. Gifted students make everyone else in the class smarter by providing a role model or challenge, which we definitely know is far from best practices. The one that we probably heard the most was that acceleration placement options were socially harmful for gifted students. For whatever reason, the social aspect was a big part of administrators and educators and even parents not really wanting their students to be accelerated. I know that several people had these misconceptions of the gifted program, such as being elite, or that if someone had a bad grade or a disability, that they couldn't possibly be gifted in their eyes. Often people think that GT students are just happy and well-adjusted, or the teacher pleasers of the classroom. Another item that we kept hearing teachers say at the high school level was that they didn't understand why all of the students weren't taking AP courses, and that that was a way to service them at the high school, which it is, but it's certainly not something that we want to limit students to just taking the AP courses alone. This cartoon actually highlights one of the statements that makes so many of us educators just cringe. It says, "How many times do I have to tell you, you're not supposed to read ahead?" All of these misconceptions and myths helped our county recognize the need for better education for our teachers and to learn more about the benefits of service options like the various forms of acceleration. We started providing more information in classroom teachers' PLCs to help eliminate some of these thoughts and beliefs. While it's sometimes difficult to change a person's attitude, especially people who are highly resistant to change about acceleration, we're slowly incorporating more professional development for our teachers regarding the service options and the specific needs of gifted students. Providing resources for teachers to seek independent information about acceleration, such as websites, you'll see here in the resources, the National Association for Gifted Education, the Acceleration Institute, the Bellin Blank Center for Gifted Education, Hoagie's Gifted Education page, and the Davidson Institute for Talent Development can help provide more resources for your teachers. One of the most important things to discuss with teachers regarding the importance of acceleration is just how essential pre-assessment truly is. There was a federal research report that indicated that gifted students spend the majority of the day in the regular classroom without modifications to meet their needs, even though they have already mastered 33 to 50% of the material that's already to be taught prior to even the start of the school year. Facing risk of students dropping out or underachieving, we need to really help these teachers understand the possible impacts of not properly differentiating or accelerating students as they need it. Helping teachers understand the need for pre-assessment and properly addressing these needs of GT students can just really be an eye-opening experience for teachers. A Nation Empowered, Volume 1 and 2. These books provide an in-depth look at the services of acceleration. They highlight 20 different types of acceleration that can be service options that you could provide in your county. Our personal GT program wanted to start researching these various cost-effective service options, and our superintendent in Bullitt County wanted to help us to meet the needs of our GT students better. So we looked at some of these various forms, and the first one here, the early entrance into kindergarten or first grade, is really the least disruptive form of acceleration. Research shows that these students who start early are ready to learn and can perform just as well on evaluations as their regular classmates. Whole grade acceleration, which is also known as grade skipping or early entrance into a grade, is also highly effective. It is an accelerative option that is probably used less among school districts than any other option for some reason, though. In a moment, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the details of our county's acceleration policy, because our policy focuses more on whole grade or subject matter or partial acceleration instead. These types of accelerations just really truly help meet the needs of appropriate academic challenges for students. Continuous progress is something I think that most of our teachers demonstrate often in the classroom. We really don't have a formal policy in our county that highlights how a student is given content progressively as it becomes mastered. I think that the teachers do a really good job of that, though, to just make sure that the students are moving forward as needed. Self-paced instruction is a type of continuous progress acceleration where the actual student has control over the pacing of their accelerated opportunities. Now, we have combined or split classes in many of our schools, and these often occur in our county where the younger students can interact with their older peers, but they're still on the same ability levels. We have a cluster grouping policy also in our district that truly helps us with grouping students appropriately and in encouraging accelerative curriculum, such as teachers can do more curriculum compacting, telescoping, and things like that. The mentoring type of acceleration is not really something that our county has a strong support system for right now. We would actually like to work more on this to provide more mentor opportunities for the future. However, we do have a strong multitude of extracurricular programs that offer fast-paced, accelerated content to students. We have a summer program. We also have Saturday enrichment programs. And during the school year, we have specialized accelerated camps for students to come and participate in an accelerated content study. For example, fourth graders may come for a whole week of just genetic studies from normal school hours, at least 4 days a week. The distance learning courses are when students actually engage in coursework that's offered by an outside school organization. Now, our county uses a program called Edgenuity. All students actually have opportunities for advancement in these courses, but we primarily target our GT students through the Edgenuity program. We currently have a middle school advanced math and science program called the Discovery School, and that's where these students are taking courses with cohorts, and they use the Edgenuity program or distance learning to earn their high school credits. Our high school is advanced math and science program is called BAMS, and our BAMS program also uses courses through Edgenuity so that students can take their 2 years of they do 4 years of high school within 2 years, and then they would be able to get an associate's degree by the time that they actually graduate high school. Like I said, students are not limited to being in specialized programs of Discovery School or BAMS in order to take courses for credit, but that program is something that we really have been using. Dual enrollment classes, AP honors courses, credit by examination, early entrance into secondary schools, early graduation from high school. All of these are options that we also provide at our high school levels. After looking at the various types of acceleration, our county realized the need for an acceleration policy to be in effect, and to primarily, like I said, it primarily focuses on whole grade and subject acceleration. The first thing we did was we started to contact the Ohio Department of Education because they have a good statewide policy on acceleration, and we started asking them several questions on how they started their policy. We looked intensively at the Iowa acceleration scale to formulate ideas on background information needed on students when making a formal decision about acceleration. And we focused on researching the November 2009, there was a national work group finding, and they made a publication called the Guidelines for Developing an Academic Acceleration Policy. These guidelines truly provided a start for our comprehensive policy. It highlights 17 elements in 5 areas, and we used it just basically like a checkoff list when we created our policy. And so I'll go over some of those things to include when you're wanting to actually create your own policy. The first thing is looking at accessibility, equity, and openness. The policy should provide access to referral for consideration of acceleration, and that it's open to all students and all populations being served. You want it to be fair, objective, systematic. No single student should be eliminated from an opportunity to be accelerated. Parents or guardians are allowed open communication about the policy and procedures, and we get parent input and background knowledge about the student in our policy, which I'll show you specifics in a moment on that. And the community has easily accessible to our policy and document. It's on our district webpage, and I'll give you a link to that as well if you would like to look directly to our website on that.